Hey! We're back in with another tier list. Are you ready for this?
Today, we got a W idea. I'm going to be ranking the Lord icons for every character in Marvel Rivals.
Are you locked in for this?
Look, my cousin gave me this idea, and when I first heard it, I was like, wow, that is an inspirational, generational, talented idea. So let me do that shit. I'm kind of hyped for this since I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a lot of the Lord icons, obviously, in-game when my teammates have them, but I haven't went through and looked at them all. So some of these are going to be first time seeing them, and I'm a fan of doing tier lists, I'll be honest. My last video was a bit long, truthfully, but I gave a little bit of an in-depth. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it. Link up there. I gave an in-depth tier list of each character for Season 1. Okay, so go lock in on that. Give it a like.
Yo, if you can give this one a like as well, that would be very much appreciated.
Alright, just to go over the tiers. F tier is going to be, I wasted my fucking time for this? Are you serious? D tier is going to be, really? C tier is going to be, it's okay, I guess. I mean, I guess. B tier is going to be, I'm happy with that. I'll take that. You know, not bad. Bruh. Alright, I had to fix that real quick. A tier is going to be pretty fucking fire, let's be honest. And S tier is going to be, it was worth my time. I think it's different for each character of how long it takes you to get them. I want to guesstimate that it's about 25 hours with them, give or take. You know, it could be a range of 25 to about 35. Honestly, I don't think it's more than 35 hours, but I mean, it could be. And then real quick, I just want to preface, so some of these icons that you take from looking at them in the menu don't show what they fully look like in-game. For example, I'll just start off with Cloak. Dagger is in Cloak's proficiency icon in-game. So just letting you guys know beforehand. Alright, Cloak, I'm going to go with, it's okay. It's not bad, right? I don't think that it's that bad. I think it's cool. You know, I would be happy with it, but at the same time, it's just like, it's okay. Maybe it's because it's oversaturated and I've seen so many. That's a possibility. But with that, I'm going to go C tier. Next up, we got Widow. Widow's also, it's okay also, right? It's nothing crazy, right? It's not anything like over the top. And I think that's a perfect spot for C. Next up, we got Black Panther. Black Panther's pretty fucking cool, I'll be honest. I'd be happy with that one. I think that one's debatably worth the grind. It is pretty cool. And I'm going to place that one in B tier. Next, we got Adam Warlock. So Adam Warlock, I actually saw my first one yesterday. That was Proficiency 5. I'm happy with that as well. I actually think it's a pretty cool jump from his original one. And yeah, I'm going to go B tier with Adam. All right, now we got Wolverine. Look, as we all know, I fucking hate Wolverine because I'm a group main. So I'll try to keep that hatred out of this and just rate off his icon. It's a C. He does show more in his icon in-game. Captain America, worst character in the game. His icon's not bad, though. I'd be happy with his icon. Seriously. It is actually not that bad. It's pretty cool looking. I wish he had, like, a shield or, like, did something else other than, like, looking there like a Giga Chad or something like that. But I'd be happy with it. Alright, now we got Strange. Strange is pretty fucking fire. I'll be honest. I'm actually pretty close to getting Strange. I really don't have any complaints. I think it's a pretty good upgrade as well. I'm also going to be rating these kind of how much of an upgrade it is from their original icon, because all of the original ones are pretty basic, but some are obviously way cooler than others. Alright, next up, we got my boy,
Groot! Clap it up.
Pretty fire. That is with a little bit of bias. Without bias, I'm happy with that. I also don't really see a lot of people with that. Maybe it's because I play them, but on the other team, I don't see people with Proficiency 5 Groot, so I think it is worth the time. You know, it looks a little funky, but I think it looks cool because it is like a totally different type of vibe from his original one. Hawkeye's, it's worth my fucking time. Hawkeye's going to be our first S tier. His is actually a huge jump up from his original one, and I definitely think that's worth your time if you're going to get Hawkeye. Next up, we got Invisible Woman. I wasted my fucking time for this. Literally, if you look at her original one and this one, it's a difference of this. So no thanks. That is actually tragic. Look, truthfully, I wish hers was just invisible. It'd be pretty cool. Maybe like a little bit of an outline. Yeah, that's going to be our first F tier of the day. Iron Fist, I'm happy with that. His is not bad. There's not much to say about Iron Fist. His is, I'm happy with it if I got it right. I mean, it's just not bad. Jeffrey. Alright, next up, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's okay. It's nothing like where I'm like, oh shit. It's not that bad. Right? It's not that bad. Iron Man. He is going to be pretty fucking fire. I don't think he's S tier, but I do think it is pretty fire. He has a little glow. He just looks a lot better than his original icon. So him, I'm going to go top of A there. I think he is the coolest one out of these, to be honest. Next up, we got Loki. Hot take, Loki's fucking trash. He just looks dumb, I think. It's cool if I have a Proficiency 5 Loki. They're probably good. His icon's pretty fucking shit, I'll be honest. Like, when I first saw that, my genuine reaction was, really? That's his fucking icon? Okay. On to the next. Magneto, I'm kind of going BC here. I'll go B tier. His is cool, but it's nothing crazy. It's just pretty like... I really think he has, like, the most average icon. It's not anything to complain about, but I don't think it's anything extra extraordinary. I think he's a perfect C tier. And honestly, I'm moving Widow up to... I'm calling an audible and moving Widow up to a B. If you have a Widow, if you have a Widow Proficiency 5, you're pretty good. And hers adds a sniper. Like, hers is actually not that bad. So that's a bad take on me. I'm switching that to B. I'm happy with that. Like, for example, right, if you have a Proficiency 5 Widow on your team, they're most likely going to clap cheeks. Alright, next up we got Mantis. Really? Another really for the healers. The healers, you know, they're lacking. They're some of the best players in the game, but, I mean, their proficiency icons are lacking. I think hers is also just ugly. So, yeah, I think her and Loki are pretty good D tiers. Next up, Moon Knight. That's another S tier. Top of S, I'll be honest. Top of S. His is actually super cool. Just because the effects outside the icon, I mean, come on. He's actually locked in. Those two are definitely worth my time. 1,000%. Alright, next up we got... I love Mr. Fantastic, but him and Invisible Woman's icons are fucking terrible. It's just another facial angle exchange, right? His first one is... And this one is... What are we doing? You want me to spend that much time to get that? Like, make it worth. Make it worth my time, please. Look, wasting your time for those two, you know, I apologize. I want to get Proficiency 5 as him, and I plan on doing so. Not for the icon, let's just say that. Next up, I think everyone can agree Venom has the best icon in the game. That is literally so sick. Like, when I first saw that in my game, I was like... Venom is 100% the best one in the game. I just wish that more of them did something, right? Like, they can't all open their fucking mouths, but, you know, like Iron Man shooting out some fucking shit out of his chest, like his ult or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, which Iron Man's obviously already cool, but I'm just using that as an example. Jeff fucking spraying water out of his mouth. Fucking Mr. Fantastic stretching and punching towards you like this or some shit. You know, something. Look, no hate on the game. I love this game. Lord icons could improve. Some of them could definitely improve. But Venoms, though, they kind of hit on the spot. That one is super cool. You know, I honestly think that each season they should have new ones, or they should add it to where if you're playing this player for 50 hours or 100 hours, right, you get a new icon. That could be also really cool. I hope they add that in the future, I'll be honest. I hope they add that in the future. Because that would give people something to grind for as well, because you could hit it pretty easily, right? If you put some time into the game, you can kind of get a Lord icon. But it's kind of like Prestige, right, in Call of Duty. It gives you something else to work towards, just as like a side, right? It literally has no effect, but it shows your team that you're putting the time in, right? You get a little bit of a reward for putting the time in. And so far, I think Venom's is the most worth it. Namor's okay. It's, I would say, top of C, maybe a little bit low B. It's cool. I don't think it's anything crazy. I think it could be cooler. Again, hopefully they eventually update it. His is just, you know, pretty average. Next up is Luna, and I think she's right next to Cloak. Maybe it's because I've seen them so much. I don't know. I just think they're kind of average. I think the healers, they're just kind of average when it comes to their icons, truthfully. Next up, we got Magic. This might be a hot take. I think hers is bad. I think hers is just bad. I just think she looks ugly and weird in this one. Hot take. Maybe not. I don't really like it at all. My opinion, I don't think it's that great. Penny Parker, literally, the difference is this. What are we doing? Putting a hand up for proficiency 5? You know how much time you gotta put in for that shit? Trash. Not as bad as these, though, because these are, at least she has a hand up, okay? These just change the angle of your face, so no thanks. Psylocke, I'm happy with that. I think hers is actually pretty cool. Bottom of B, it's not anything crazy, but it is pretty cool. It does look a little bit different in-game as well. So yeah, that's a solid B tier. Storm, underrated icon. Putting her next to Iron Man. Underrated, you know, you could see the fucking lightning off her face. She has a different angle. Look, these ones just give you a different type of vibe when someone picks them and has them. Groot's a little bit biased, I get it. All of these have lights and whatever, he doesn't. He changes though, okay? Just, he's pretty fucking fire. No bias. Alright, next up we got Thor. I'm happy with Thor. I'll put him next to Captain America. His is not bad. His is above average, for sure. Especially lightning coming out of his eyes. Like, what are we talking about? Winter Soldier. Hot take, S tier. I think Winter Soldier is super cool. His entire thing changes color, and you can really just notice it. His just looks extremely better as well than his original icon. Again, original icons are all going to be pretty basic. I could put top of A, but I honestly think he's one of the best ones. Next up, we got Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, actually pretty cool. She has a little red ball. Her thing changes kind of like these, but you could just tell. You could look at this, look at her, and then look at them. Look at her, and then look at them. What are we talking about? It's not even close, right? You could just tell the difference. Maybe it's because red, and red just looks kind of better, to be honest. But they barely have any color anyway. I'm going to complain about them because they're the new characters. I don't get why they don't have great Lord icons. It makes no sense. Next up, we got Hulk. Hulk, right next to Iron Man, just like he is in the tier list. I mean, 2 and 2. His pretty cool. Look at the effects. The eyes. He looks fucking huge, right? Pretty fire, worth my time. And he's just pretty fire. All of these have that different vibe. I mean, that's a solid A tier. Alright, next up, we got Hela. That's going to be okay. It looked kind of weird. I'll be honest. It kind of looks just weird. I don't really like the color of, like, the background gold. I really don't like that. If it was, like, popping out green behind it and something like that, it could just look better. It's just average, I would say. Not really worth my time, personally. Alright, next up, we got Rocket. I think he's right next to the other healers. I really just don't think that they're that great. Rocket is different, so he can go there. These two are very basic and weird looking, so they're bottom and she's trash. So it's like, the best one's gonna be Adam. Healer-wise, best one's Adam. 100%. No questions asked. He just has a different type of vibe than them. Alright, next up we got Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I'm happy with that. I'll put him right next to Psylocke. His is pretty cool. Nothing crazy. At least it gives him some type of, like, Spider-Man vibe. Like, gives him something about, like, a web or something like that when you see it in-game. I think he's a solid B tier. Next up, we got Star-Lord. Okay, Star-Lord's one for sure looks a little bit different in-game, so keep that in mind. I do think that he is going to be right next to Spider-Man. I'm not complaining about it. His is actually pretty cool. I know it's just a little bit of a face change, but in-game it looks a little bit different. Like, he has his guns and something like that. I'm pretty sure. I definitely could be wrong, and if I am wrong, C. But I do remember him being pretty cool, so he'll go bottom of B. I'm happy with that. Hot take, Punishers is... It's different. It's just weird. I don't know what it is about his face. It's just fucking weird. Every time I see it on the other team, or every time I see it on my team, I'm just like, I don't want to look at it. Like, I don't know what it is, and it's just not my thing. It's okay for me. I could see why people like it. I could see why people would maybe put it B. I'm happy with it, but it's like a low B, high C for me. It's better than Hela's because it's different, right? It's better than these because it's just a little bit different. But I just think it looks weird. Maybe that's just me. Alright, last up, we got Squirrel Girl. I think she's going to go next to Widow, right? She has a little squirrel on top of her head. Give her something. Give them something about themselves. Like, even Iron Fist is just in a stance. But I'm going to put Squirrel Girl next to Widow because if you have a proficiency 5 of these two, they're most likely going to do their job. You know what I'm saying? Like, a regular Widow, a regular Squirrel Girl, again, proficiency doesn't show the skill, but it shows the time that you put into that character. So it shows that there's no way that you suck balls at this character every game because there's no way you'd put 25 to 35 hours into a character and be that bad. Do you get what I'm saying? So, especially at these two, right, they're going to do their job. Now, Iron Fists, they also could. I've seen more Iron Fists than I have Squirrel Girls or Widows in their ass. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But most of the time when you're going to see them, they're pretty good. And I think her icon's pretty cool. Alright, so that is the tier list. Overall, I think this is a pretty accurate tier list. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this one. I had fun making it. Now I kind of know what every single Lord icon does look like. Maybe I'll remake it if they do change them. I think it would be cool if they did change them. Or they gave you, like I was saying earlier, another tier that you can kind of work towards to get it. That would also be sick. And I'm assuming when the Human Torch and the Thing come out, I'll maybe do an updated one. Or I'll do one way down the line when more characters come out. Kind of place them in where I think they would fit with the characters that we have now. Let me know if you enjoyed this video.
If you did, I'll take 5 likes if that's okay with everyone. Appreciate you. Look, stay tuned. I'm going to be uploading my Groot video. It's going to be kind of fire. And I've been kind of all talk. You guys really haven't seen that much gameplay from me, other than Mr. Fantastic.
You will see shortly how good I am at Groot. It's actually astonishing. Alright, later, bitch.
Feels like the first time I made time in a minute. Rock with it, I'm in attendance. How could we pair feelings aside?